Hi everyone, it's Bhikkhuni Vimala, and it's Tuesday, May the 5th. So I'd like to welcome all of you, and we're having kind of a drizzly day here today, so I hope you're having ideal weather for whatever it is you plan to do today. You know, I was just thinking, I feel very strange this week. It seems like waking up yesterday, I felt like the world, the American world was just doing a big flip-flop. And suddenly we're hearing all the reopening, and people are making contact with each other. I think the contact has been going on, but now it's more physical, but with social distancing. And I don't have concerns about that because the people I know who are doing it are being very careful, very thoughtful. And they might be getting together when someone has a big backyard and all bringing their own snacks and wearing masks and sitting far enough apart and not going into the house and just spending an hour or two with each other's company and catching up. I think some of those ideas are wonderful. They're so creative. And I know this weekend was so nice. I wanted to talk to my neighbors and the people I know walking their dogs. And we were standing far enough apart and had on masks, most of us. And the animals are always great entertainment and comfort. And that was very nice. It was just, I know I felt too, I wanted to connect. And what I'm seeing, though, is the news is telling us there's so many things being done too fast that there are definitely going to be repercussions, and we're going to have this rebound effect. So I know probably a lot of you are very concerned about that too. When do you let your children play? When do we start being comfortable even being around other people without being worried about the virus? That might be a long time. So we have to have, even though Illinois is still on lockdown, there is so much movement going on for people to just let things be back to how it used to be. And that's what we would all want right now, but we have to be realistic that that's not the nature of reality right now. It's not the nature of this devastating virus. We aren't prepared to get back to normal because we need to prepare vaccines. We need to have better testing and more of it, and we need to have systems for tracing set up. We have to change environments. There's a lot of work to be done. So I hope you are stepping back and just breathing. I was dazzled yesterday, and I didn't even read some of my typical news venues. And by the end of the evening, I was kind of dazzled by, when I was doing a little catching up, I was surprised at, even in Illinois, how many places stores are opening up. And now this morning, some of those places have employees saying, we're not ready yet, this isn't safe. So you might feel really batted around, and I'm just in my own space by myself. I know the board at Blue Lotus Temple is being very thoughtful and really looking at keeping this social distancing going, keeping the temple closed, doing things online when we can, and serving when we can. But we're not planning to get back to any kind of normal until after June. And I'm so proud of the board of directors at the temple and for Bhante Sujata. These are some of the most active people I know, and I'm sure it's extremely hard for this group of people to be in this different lifestyle right now. And all of you who know Bhante Sujata know he's one of the busiest active people, I'm sure. And for him to be for him to be saying, we need to be cautious. We need to do what we can without being out in the public. I know that's hard for him, so I'm really very grateful to my teachers and to the board of directors and the concern for people that everyone has, and yet the wisdom to know this is not the time to start getting up close and personal. This is not the time to start having big gatherings. And all of you who are either Buddhist or know about Buddhism or come to the temple, you know that Vesak is being celebrated right now. And I think the temple was going to have our celebration on May the 14th. And we've had to cancel that, of course. That's our biggest gathering of people. And we have our parade through Woodstock. We just get hundreds and hundreds of people. So, of course, we had to cancel that. And there are virtual Vesaks going on. I know the Pennsylvania Blue Lotus, Bhante Soma, is having a virtual Vesak ceremony. And I know there are Bhikkhunis on the West Coast who are Dhammadharini, Vihara, Ayatataloka. They are celebrating a virtual Vesak. So I've been asked, as the other nuns have, to do a short little talk just about, what I'm doing now, how the temple's doing, how the Sangha's doing, how our entire community is doing, and what do we have coming up, how the year has been. So I'll put that, when I make that, it has to be less than 8 minutes. So that might be one of my first little snippets that I put together and put online. It will just be about where we are at Blue Lotus right now. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's happening this Saturday, and I'll try to participate as I can. And ironically, even with this stay-at-home order that I'm being very good about, my schedule gets busy. Isn't that interesting? All of you are feeling the same thing, I bet. Boredom is not here, because I'm trying to do an online retreat, and so I had to check on the check mark areas for the retreat on the application, if I could literally have a 9-day retreat, silent retreat, meditation retreat in my location, or if I had work or personal situations that would pull me away some of the time. And I thought, I have 2 nights a week or an online sutta study with a group in New York, and 4 mornings a week I'm doing the meditation, and I have other online talks that I'm trying to listen to and things I'm working with. And now I had this 9-day opportunity come up, which I really wanted to do, but I had to say, I will be coming back, in and out. I can't commit 100% to 100% of those 9 days. And that I thought, isn't that funny? To commit to something like that 9 days, I'd almost have to be going to a retreat center and canceling everything and not being able to have a phone or a telephone. And we can't do that these days. And there are people I want to stay in touch with absolutely now. But even in the midst of this stay-at-home order, our lives can be very busy and very full and very, very good for us. And I know everyone has financial concerns. I know today is Giving Tuesday, and I really appreciate too that our board of directors is very aware that everyone is facing an uncertain financial future. It might be huge for some people. It may not be significant at all for some. And people are also concerned about members of their family who may need help. So it's a very uncertain period. But we also, so we're not doing any kind of big fundraisers for the temple. If people can donate a little bit, we have enough people following the temple and supporting our efforts that we can make it. We don't need to ask people to do something that is beyond what they can comfortably do right now or what they feel compelled to do. And I'm also really proud of our board and Bhante Sujata for that too. Dana, generosity is a very powerful teaching, and it's a very powerful way for us to get beyond our sense of self all the time. When we're able to give, whether it's a kind thought, a kind word, a smile, a simple gift of time or a phone call, or asking someone if they need help, to giving a little bit of money, to giving a huge amount of money. All of these forms of generosity are what we cultivate as a Buddhist, because it's generosity from our hearts, and we're not financially hurting ourselves if we give. We're not making extreme sacrifices because we have to care for ourselves, and we know that includes caring for our loved ones. So the generosity might be $1 a week. It might be $5 a week. It might be something very simple. It might be supporting the online videos, supporting it in the sense of listening and taking part in these virtually. But it lets us know that there are people that are interested in this kind of program, and it lets us know that you have a connection to Blue Lotus, and that may be the donation that you can give. But some people are able to continue with their regular monthly donations, or they feel like the only thing they might be able to do is to make a small donation, always being mindful of what they are going to be financially up against now and in the future. But my point is not to create a new fundraiser. My point is to say there is a reason that generosity is included in spiritual teachings. And in the pure sense, it's because giving of ourselves helps us get beyond the self. It lets us see that letting go is a part of wealth, is a part of our spiritual wealth. Not being so attached to things that we can't give of ourselves. And so many of you give of yourself when you sit down and listen to Bhante or me and practice with us. That's giving of yourself, and that's completely enough. And others feel like out of their abundance and out of how they feel the future is going to be for them, it's okay for them to give to a charity or to the temple or to a favorite cause that they know is suffering right now. My daughter is very generous, generous to the point that she would probably forget to buy groceries for herself if she could take a bag of food to a shelter for cats, or do something for the homeless population where she lives in Waukegan. And I'm so proud of her being that generous. And the only thing I worry about is that she will be generous to the point of not having enough to take care of her. She's not working now. And I feel like as a mother, I have to tell her, your generosity is incredible. And just remember, you have to go a long time with your limited resources. So don't hurt yourself. Don't leave yourself in a bind because of the different groups. She's always researching for groups that target her, the areas that she loves the most. So my heart fills with pride, and I know her generosity is coming from such a wonderful place. But I have to caution her, don't do yourself in, because then you won't be around when you do have a more solid financial situation. You won't be able to help all those animals you love and the people that your heart breaks and you feel so much compassion for. So I'd give you the same advice. And don't feel guilty if you can't give everything you have. I know sometimes my daughter feels that way. If she feels bad if she has a car and she sees other people who don't and who need one. And she feels bad that she has a nice place to live and she sees homeless people. But compassion, we have to remember, is not feeling bad, not feeling pity, not feeling sorry for other people. But compassion is seeing ourselves in their situations. And then we can see what they might need if we want to do something for them. And we might be able to be with them with our prayers and our thoughts and our daily practice. But it doesn't mean we can save all of them, that we can help all of them, because the nature of this world is samsara. We're wandering through these badlands many, many times. And the nature of this world is that everything is impermanent, and there is stress, and there is frustration, and there is anguish, and there is suffering in this life. And we can't, Jesus even said the poor will always be with us. And I think that was exactly what the Buddha was talking about. We can't fix everything. We don't have control over everything. The reality is that we only can work within ourselves. And the compassion that we have helps us see it helps us see where the pain is, where the suffering is. And it enables us to do what's right and what we can do and what we really care about, and let go of ourselves a bit, let go of our attachments, let go of our fear. And we can reach out, and when we can see ways to help, we can do it. So I think for this morning, we don't have much time to sit, but let's sit and think about your own compassion. So gently close your eyes and breathe. Feel your breath settling down. Be aware of your body. the world go on for a few minutes without you. Turn inward. Feel grateful for your connections in the world, for your loved ones, for the different communities that you are involved in that nurture you. Feel grateful for what is sustaining you now. What are your ideas? What are your spiritual practices? What is your life philosophy that sustains you during this unusual time in our world culture? Be working with your body to feel this. When you're thinking about the things that nurture you, the things that sustain you emotionally and in your body, let your body speak to you. Where do you feel comfortable? Where do you feel at peace? What is the well you keep coming back to? May everything you do today and every day be done with right intention and be done for the good of all living beings. May peace be with you. May you be safe and well. May you be easily satisfied and content in your life at the moment. May you be able to smile today. Thank you. And just keep sitting if you're able to. And I'll see you on Thursday or anytime online. Thank you.